It was a real honor to get to do the cover for the movie. I mean, I remember renting that movie as a kid, renting the same VHS tape over and over for like years rather than just buying it. It really meant a lot to me, and to kind of research that movie and try and come up with an image that said everything that I think for that movie. It was, yeah, it was great. It was a real honor.
Arise, Rodimus Prime. Optimus.
I've been lucky enough to work on the comics for IDW now for probably 6 years. And it's great to draw these characters that meant a lot to you, and you hope that you're presenting that to a new audience, you know, and putting as much into it as it meant to you. I think my art style is very atmospheric. Like, I really am interested in the environment that they're in. I really like to study lighting and how it can shape a scene. So I'm a very big like Ridley Scott fan, David Fincher. The Transformers animated movie was a huge influence on me in terms of studying lighting. Like, I love the design and the detail in that movie. I love like when they show a close-up of Megatron's face and it's all cracked, and you just feel the weight and the battles that these people have been in. And that had a gigantic impact on me.
I would have waited an eternity for this. It's over, Prime.
I always try and portray them, when I draw them, like they've been in a bunch of battles. Like, I want them to feel like these ancient sort of beings, you know, that they're millions of years old, they're not brand new. And I think it adds more reality to it too, I think, to see all like the scratches and the dents. Hopefully gives them some character.
One day, an Autobot shall rise from our ranks and use the power of the Matrix to light our darkest hour.
I still draw everything to start with on paper, so just pencil on paper. My thumbnail is really loose. Line art, yeah, just standard paper, and then I take it into the computer, scan it in, then I digitally color it in Photoshop. So I use what's called a Cintiq, which is like digital drawing tablet, but I like keeping that traditional pencil plus digital edge to it. Like, I don't like when things look too computerized. So I like when you can kind of see a little bit of real pencil in the scan. You start a cover like that by doing rough layouts initially, which are just really loose sketches and basic compositions. You want to lock in which characters are going to be on it. Like, the obvious ones are Optimus Prime and Hot Rod, Unicron for the movie, but then it's such a big universe and there's so many fan favorite characters, then that becomes a real question. It's like, well, which other ones do you have? There's just not the space to put like 200 characters on there. So these are roughs for the animated movie cover. There was 3 different ideas we had. We knew early on that we wanted to have Optimus Prime and Hot Rod both featured pretty prominently. So the first one was sort of them back to back, and we kind of wanted to have this sort of generational face-off. So Hot Rod versus Galvatron and his crew, Optimus versus Megatron and his crew. We knew we always wanted to have Unicron in the background. He's such a staple of that movie. Third one here is I kind of like this idea of Unicron sort of rising over the horizon, like he's that big, that his eye is sort of like the sun. But I think ultimately we all were happy with the second one, and that was my favorite too, of just sort of more classic like Prime and Hot Rod. A little more heroic, you know, with sort of evil on all sides of them, but them as kind of the central heroes. So we picked this one, and then that goes into the final line art. So then this was based on that second rough, and all these guys are drawn on separate layers in case we need to move Megatron or Hot Rod around, so for composition reasons. And at this stage, I'm always thinking about like what the lighting's gonna be, and it's tricky because you have multiple light source. We knew we were gonna have the Matrix glow. We knew we wanted Unicron to have this really strong light. So then you're hoping like, okay, maybe hopefully all balance out in the end. And then this is the final here. So we went with a couple different colors at first. I think we had started with more of like a darker purple, or I started with, and then eventually like we kind of settled on the idea of this blue, which I liked a lot.
Prime, one shall stand, one shall fall.
It is a different style than how we currently draw the comics and how the characters have appeared for a long time. So I definitely had to research the movie, which was a joy to kind of go back in. And now that I've been drawing the comics for so long, you get used to drawing Optimus Prime a certain way. And looking back at how he is in that era, you're like, oh, there are differences that, you know, I never really noticed until I was really drawing him. But you're sort of trying to preserve your own style while also going back to that era.